it's kind of a painful conversation, but I think we should move on to our team, the Toronto Raptors. Um, in the biggest landslide in recent memory in the Kyle Lowry, DeMar DeRozan era, they've never been this bad. I don't remember the exact record, but I think it was 1-11 over their last 12. They won one game in March, I think.
Yeah.
It's been painful, but they had the biggest win of the season of the last 2 or 3 years, I believe, against the Golden State Warriors. They were up by 60 in the fourth quarter, ended up winning by 53 or 54. Where is this team? They're only a game back of the Chicago Bulls for that 10th spot for the play-in, but they they lost to OKC without Dort, without Shea. They got swept this year by the Detroit Pistons. This
Yeah.
this team is in prime position to get a top 7 pick if they decide to go that route. Lowry has some kind of suspicious injury. A foot infection is a little dubious. Fred
Yeah.
VanVleet looks like he's maybe going to miss a couple of games. It could
Yeah.
go either way. They could fight for that 10 spot. They could win that play-in tournament. They could get in and have like a competitive playoff series. They are still that type of team, but they could bottom out and get a top 5 pick.
Yeah, I hope they bottom out and get a top 5 pick just because of how good this draft is.
Yeah.
And also with Kyle Lowry missing 7 to 10 days, with something like if we were actually in a playoff fight, I think he'll be back in more of that
Yeah.
3 to 5 day range. Fred VanVleet, I don't think he would have missed the game if we had playoff aspirations. I don't think Flynn will be playing as much as he is.
Malachi.
Yeah, Malachi Flynn. He had a great game
Yeah.
against the Warriors, but we also won by 54. But he wouldn't be playing as much if we're going for a playoff picture. Chris Boucher got us finally a start against the Warriors. They had no center. It was good to see him start. Yeah, I think this team is just trying to prioritize those 20-year-olds. Get Flynn comfortable with being the backup point guard. Get Fred VanVleet comfortable being the point guard. Now that Kyle Lowry looks like he's out in free agency, get Gary Trent Jr. comfortable with shooting a lot because he just had his career high 31 followed by 24. OG Anunoby telling him to become an 18 to 20 point scorer, telling him to shoot more. Since the return from COVID, the COVID protocol situation, he scored 15 plus in all of his games. Siakam telling him that, yo, we got hope for you now. Like, we're not going to let you get the best defender and just get completely destroyed while the rest of the team watches you do spin moves and then all the media just hates on you. Like, they're trying to, like, actually back up Siakam and be, like, kind of a role he was when Kawhi was back on this team, which is, like, that second role, which he completely is, like, that's his best role.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just kind of experimenting for this, like, team and their roles and getting everybody used to that. It's just they're so bad in rebounding that they're never going to win enough games. Like, we have Kyle Lowry, who's a good rebounder in his position, Fred, good rebounder in his position, OG, good rebounder in his position, but we didn't have no center. Like, not even like an average rebounder or below average rebounder. We have like the worst rebounding centers. So yeah, they're just gonna give up so much offensive possessions, second chance points, and they're never gonna go on a win streak, in my opinion.
Yeah, rebounding was this team's biggest flaw last year with Gasol and Ibaka at the 5. With Boucher and Aaron Baines, it is tough to watch a lot of games. They have the talent, like they are as talented, if not more talented, with that playoff experience, more than any other team above them in that 7 to 10 range. But it's tough to go on a win streak without rebounders like that, especially with Kyle Lowry and like all these injuries. I am of the mindset, I think we both are, that this team is not going to win a playoff series. If they do, they're not going to win 2 playoff series. Yeah. You only have a team like this team is not going to be this bad next year. A core of Fred VanVleet, OG Anunoby, Pascal, and I've been really impressed by Trent on both ends. Yeah. That team's not going to bottom out and be at the bottom 5 seed anytime soon. In my opinion, this is your chance. As much as it's going to suck for the next 20 games, you're not at Scotiabank Arena. There are no fans. Kyle Lowry has a semi-legitimate injury, so you can sit him.
So does Fred VanVleet.
Fred VanVleet. Let's go for a top 5 pick. Get a Suggs, strike the jackpot, and get a Cade. Mobley would fit amazing into this team. I think it's time. It's time to shoot for a top 5 pick.
Yeah, it's the move to go for it, especially with Bulls. You know, they're 100% gonna give it their all because they traded away their pick. You know, who else is ahead of us at that 9th spot? With the players below us, Washington Wizards.
Yeah,
they have Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal. You know they're gonna try to get that play-in spot because they have including me, they have a lot of people who believe if they get that 10th spot, they could beat anyone to get into the playoffs.
Yeah.
The Pacers, who were in ninth, which I was just thinking about, they also have a veterans that can get playoff experience and that could get better. They have Levert, Sabonis, and Brogdon, Jeremy Lamb, Justin Holiday. They still have a very good team, and they can still get into that picture. The Hornets are in the fourth seed. They're probably going to slip a lot, and maybe they come out of the thing. I still think they're going to play in spot because of the big lead they have all accumulated. But with Hayward out, LaMelo out, and Malik Monk out, they're definitely going to fall in the rankings. But you can see these teams are trying to get in there, whereas if the Raptors don't really try to get in there, they could really get a big pick.
Yeah, and add a league average center to this team and add a top 5 pick, like even a Jalen Green looks like he could be a first option in the league.
Yeah.
This could be like a elite team again, very, very, very soon.
Yeah, and it could be a fun team like the Hornets. Like you have that young guy and LaMelo.
Yeah.
For us will be that next top 5 pick, and then you have those veterans. Hayward, Rozier. We have VanVleet, Pascal Siakam, and like it's a fun team that's young and competitive, rather than like an old team with like a 35-year-old Kyle Lowry as your main guy who is not really going to do a lot for the future.
Yeah, we're on the same page about the Raptors. Thanks for watching. Listen to the Stretch the Floor podcast on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts, and follow us on Instagram.